Good morning and good evening wherever you are. This is Ali from USC. Welcome to the series of USC graduate program event, which will help you to learn cutting-edge knowledge in different academic areas and inspire you to think beyond. Thank you very much for joining our event, and it's so nice to meet you. Today's webinar is the 142 USC event, and this is going to be an information session for Masters of Science in Biochemistry and Molecular Medicine program at Keck School of Medicine of USC. Our guest speaker, Karina Rishinos, who is a MS Student Services Advisor at the Keck School of Medicine, will give us a comprehensive introduction to biochemistry and the molecular medicine program. So please look forward to today's webinar. And before starting the speech, dear audience, we will have a 15-minute Q&A section after the speech, and we will try our best to get as many questions as we can. So whether you are joining this webinar via Zoom or through our live streaming platforms, please feel free to leave your questions in the chat box at any time. Also, kindly remind to our Zoom audience that this webinar will be recorded, so please mute yourself during the presentation for the good webinar quality. Thank you very much. Now, let's start our session. I will pass it over to our guest speaker, Karina. Welcome, Karina.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I am Karina Recinos. I am a student services advisor with the master's program at the University of Southern California with our biochemistry and molecular medicine master's program. So during this presentation, I am going to give you a quick just introduction to the University of Southern California. I will also give you a quick introduction to the Keck School of Medicine specifically. I'll touch base on some educational opportunities, as well as go into more general and detailed information about this master's program specifically. I'm sure many of you are probably interested in other master's programs. Unfortunately, I don't represent all of the master programs at the Keck School of Medicine at USC. However, if I can answer your questions, I will do my best to do so. So just to start off, the University of Southern California is one of the largest private universities in the world. We currently have our president as Dr. Carol Folt. We have a total of 46,000 students. 26,500 of those students are typically graduate and professional students. We also have quite a variety of faculty and staff. We currently have 28,800 faculty and staff, and 4,600 of those members are full-time faculty. So what are we known for? We have amazing national and international rankings, some of which are noted here on this slide. One of them being world's most innovative universities, #1 colleges with the best student life in America, which I think is extremely important. We're also one of the colleges with the best professors in California. So with the University of Southern California, we're actually not just located on one campus. We're over a variety of different campuses. However, the campus that you're most likely aware of and the one that you see the most pictures of is known as our University Park campus. We have some top-ranked programs at this school. There's the Dornsife College of Letters, Arts, and Sciences. We have the Marshall School of Business. We have the School of Architecture, Viterbi School of Engineering, Rossier School of Education. So these are just to name a few of the schools that we do have located on this campus. Now, where you would be doing your master's program is on the Health Sciences campus. The Health Sciences campus is located in East Los Angeles, California. We're under the Keck School of Medicine. However, we're not the only school on that campus. You can also find the School of Pharmacy, the School of Dentistry, Division of Occupational Science and Occupational Therapy, as well as the Division of Biokinesiology and Physical Therapy as well. While you'll spend most of your time at the Health Sciences campus, one of the other locations you may potentially spend your time in is at the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, also known as CHLA. It is a nationally ranked children's hospital. Um, there's also quite a bit of biomedical research that does occur on this campus. We have a few of our faculty members on this campus, and they work a bit closer with the hospital themselves. Some of the institutes that we have here are the Smith Research Tower and the Sabin Research Institute. On this campus specifically, we have over 450 research faculty, and quite a bit of them are affiliated to our Keck School of Medicine graduate programs, but they're also affiliated to other programs as well. So if you are interested in working with more clinical-based research, this is probably one of the locations that you would be more interested in. So some of you will ask about the potential courses that are offered here. Here are highlighting a few of the courses that we do have offered within our program itself. One of them being Toolbox for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. This is something that you would typically take within your first year in the program. It's just to help give you a bit of a foundation to make sure that you're successful for the duration of your time with us. We also have other classes like the Foundations of Molecular Medicine, Logic and Design of Disease Mechanism Studies, Exploring the Path from Data to Publication. And we use these as well as another way for you to have a stepping stone into what you will be pursuing after you get your degree. While we want to ensure that you are successful during your time here with us, we also want to make sure that we're setting you up for success once you leave our program. And one of the courses that we actually have that you would be taking during your first year is a set of workshops known as Ensuring Graduate Student Success. So a lot of times our students come in with the questions of, how do I choose a mentor? How do I keep a lab notebook? What are potential ways of finding mentors that aren't necessarily my PI? And these are all questions that we can answer for you during these set of workshops. Now, obviously, I've shown you 3 different campuses that we do have affiliated to our program, and you're probably thinking to yourself, how do I get around? How am I going to be able to go back and forth from all of these campuses? Well, I got great news for you. We actually do have a wonderful campus shuttle that can take you from campus to campus. Or if you're interested in exploring Los Angeles, we also can make a stop at the Union train station, which is our main train station that will pretty much get you anywhere you'd like to go in Los Angeles and even outside of Los Angeles. Let's say if you're interested in a weekend getaway to a really nice beach, you can go to San Diego. Or you can also do some wine tasting in Santa Barbara. Or as I mentioned, if you just want to get to your lab on a different campus, we also have those shuttles available to you. In addition to the shuttles, we also have a USC Lyft partnership. So it gives you a free Lyft ride within a 5-mile radius of each campus. We also have the USC Traveler app, which just gives you a bit more information on different modes of transportation with our university. So you might be asking yourself, why USC? Why the Keck School of Medicine specifically? The thing that we tell most of our potential students is that what's great about our program is that we mesh theory and practice. So what you're learning in your classroom, you'll also be putting into work during your research portion of your education as well. Like the data publication course that I had mentioned earlier, this is one of the courses that you'll talk about how you can start creating your thesis project and what the basis of that project should look like. So with that you learned in the classroom, you can take that back to your lab and have those conversations with your PI and say, this is what I'm thinking, this is how I think we can get there. How can you support me to make sure we can get this done? it is a great, as it says here on the screen, a combination of coursework and hands-on research. So this really gives you that ability to put into practice what you're learning in the classroom. So that way, in a lot of cases, it helps you understand a bit more of what you're learning in the classroom setting while you practice it in a controlled environment in your lab. And as I mentioned, right, we have world-class research. There's clinical innovation. We are affiliates and we work together with the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, as well as the Los Angeles County Hospital and the Keck Hospital as well. So there's already 3 different hospitals with potential clinical research that you can be working on. We also have unparalleled education opportunities. Um, we're number 2 nationally ranked in NIH funding per investigators. We have world-renowned faculty. Um, our importance, as I mentioned, is to not only set you up for success during your time in this program, but also after. And we're located in one of the most diverse settings in the country, I'd like to say, because Los Angeles itself is quite a melting pot of different cultures, communities, identities, and this is definitely one of the places that if you want to try a variety of different things, you can definitely get that here. And with USC comes a huge network. So there is a huge alumni network that we have. There are connections to government jobs. There are connections to biotech jobs as well. Anytime our students are choosing to move forward with finding an industry job, or if they are choosing to move forward with furthering their education, there's no scarcity of potential mentors to help get you to where you want to go. Some of the places that you may find yourself during your time here are the Norris Comprehensive Cancer Center, the Zilka Neurogenetic Institute, the Stevens Neuroimaging and Informatics Institute, the Center for Regenerative Medicine and Stem Cell Research. And this just gives you a quick inside view of what our labs look like. They all pretty much look similar to this. What's great about being with our program itself is because we are an interdisciplinary program and we're a very collaborative program as well. So you will have a variety of different folks in your lab setting from either like 2 or 3 labs, different labs, but then also from maybe like 4 or 5 different programs. There's not a shortage of people that you can work with whenever you come with us. A lot of labs tend to have lab meetings together. So you're not only just learning about the research that you have, the research that's being done in your lab, but you're also learning about the research that's done in other labs. And that is the opportunity that you're given so that let's say you find something interesting in someone else's lab and you think that you could work collaboratively on a project together, that is your opportunity to do so. And they're more than happy to share and speak and see how you can collaborate with each other to make these strides. So as I mentioned, Los Angeles is a quite diverse location. Um, a lot of our students tend to want to stay in the lab, but I encourage them to go outside of the lab as well because again, that work-life balance is extremely important and something that we're seeing as a common occurrence in these last few years. Los Angeles, you will never not find something to do. And I know that's a bit confusing, but there's always, always something to do in Los Angeles. Whether it is if you want to go to the beach, right now, if you want to go to the snow, if you want to go to the desert and, ride some ATVs, that's definitely something you can do. If you're interested in museums, we have a variety of different museums here, ranging from cultural museums to Grammy museums to history museums as well. There's also not a shortage of concert and music. We have the Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra that plays in a variety of different venues. We have, smaller venues like the Wiltern, and you can see comedians like Ali Wong or Gabriel Iglesias and things like that. You can also try your hand in Hollywood. I don't know if y'all are interested in the movie stars. I personally am not the biggest fan of going to Hollywood, but it's always great to go see and check it out for your first time there. USC also has an amazing sports team. We have football, we have basketball, we have baseball, we have our volleyball team. And that is just USC, but also as Los Angeles, we now have two football teams. We have two um, baseball teams. We have, I mean, not base, yeah, baseball teams. We have two basketball teams, and we also have two soccer teams. So the shortage of sports is definitely not something that you have to worry about here. And food, I have not even discovered the tip of the iceberg of the food that we have here in Los Angeles. I myself am Salvadorian, so I'm from Central America, and there's quite a bit of Salvadorian food here, but there's also like Ethiopian food, there's Indian food, there's Chinese food. Where HSC is located, we have a community next to us called Alhambra, and that's where a lot of our Asian community tends to migrate towards. There's dim sum, there's um, Vietnamese, there's quite a bit of everything that you could potentially want to find. And obviously, we also have Mexican food. I mean, you can't come to Los Angeles without having a taco. Um, so, like I said, there's as much as you possibly may want to do, you can find it here. One of the things that I would have never thought is a disc jockey, or not disc jockey, was it like land hockey? I would have never thought you would find something like that out here, and yet one of my students is a part of a team that literally plays cement hockey, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. So that's just to show you that if you want something here, you can definitely find it out here. Student life at USC. We just came back from our biochemistry and molecular medicine retreat. This is something that we do once a year. It gives us the opportunity to get together as an entire department and discover the type of research that our community is doing and our program is doing. And so, as you can see here, I got a quick group picture. And this is only a little bit, unfortunately, not our entire department was able to be there, but those that did attend had a great time. We played games. We had our second years actually present the research that they're doing. So that way we get to know what their thesis is going to ultimately be about, and it just gives us a little bit of a sneak peek as to what that may look like. We're also doing quite a bit of cultural events. So we just these past couple of months, we were able to celebrate Dia de los Muertos, which is a Mexican celebration. We also did Lunar New Year celebration, and we're going to start this at the end of this month. We're going to start a Taste of Culture series where we bring out a variety of different cuisines that you all can try in case you've never tried it before. Um, so student life at USC is phenomenal. Not only is there clubs like our student government clubs, but there's also like dance clubs. There's women in science clubs. I mean, we even have some of our students reach out to our middle school to help work with them and tutor them as well. So if you're interested in that volunteer work, that's also something that we have available too. So as we mentioned, right, not only is important to have the student life, but also important to work with your education. So some of the educational opportunities that we do have are summer research programs. If you are a third year or a second year, we have a little bit more opportunities with these. You also have the opportunity to attend national conferences and present in those conferences. This is something that a few of our students have been able to do. They go and they present their work at the conferences, and you get to just meet people not only within California, but also throughout the United States or even internationally. I've had some of our students go to Germany to present. So these are kind of a few of the opportunities that you would be given. We also hold seminars and panels. One of our next programming with you all will actually be having our current students do a panel so that you are a bit more aware of what it is to be a student at USC. Something else is that we do also have we're a gateway to other PhD programs. So some of the courses that you would be taking with us are actually courses that PhD students also take. So if you choose to stay at the University of Southern California with any of these PhD programs you see listed, then you'd start a little bit further ahead than some folks with the courses because you would be able to transfer those courses to the PhD program. So that gives you a bit of a head start because you have to worry less about the Common Core classes and you'll be able to move on into your more program specific courses for your PhD if that is something that you're interested in. But if you're not interested in pursuing academia, we also have career services. Um, our HBSC department does do professional development workshops. We bring in alumni and speak to them about what their journey has been post graduation. We do traditional routes such as academia or industry, and we also even have non-traditional routes. We have members from our programs as well who went on to do a PhD and then ultimately finished with doing a TV show with the Smithsonian about food science. So that's kind of one of our more non-traditional routes as well. As always, there's a lifelong alumni career services that is with our alumni association. The USC Trojan Alumni Association is one of the biggest networks that you could potentially be a part of. We also have Connect USC. This is where we'll have a little bit more job listing portals for current students who may are looking for part-time work, as well as alumni who are looking to further their career. There's also individual career counseling. We work very closely with our career center to just make sure that you're set up for the future so that if you are currently unable to find those opportunities, not only are you receiving that mentorship from your PI, but you're also receiving that mentorship from our career counselors as well. So why is BMM specifically so special? One of the things is that it is a small cohort size. We typically range from about 15 to 20 students per cohort. So that means you got a lot of one-on-one attention. I would be one of your easiest access. Our program director is an easy access to as well. And that also includes your PIs. We also have lab safety training certification. So if you're interested in doing certification with radiation, blood bath blood-borne pathogens, animal training, that's all something that we help provide you with. As I mentioned previously, we provide professional development workshops, also the opportunities to network and socialize, and as well as the ethics course, which is something that we do require everyone to take as it is an NIH requirement. Our primary goal for our students is just to make sure that they are able and prepared to move forward with their career, whether that is in academia or industry. As you guys can see here, this is a couple of the statistics of our graduate students. Our BMM graduates have been accepted about 60% of our students are accepted into PhD programs, and then 30% of BMM MS graduates are employed in academia or biotechnology sectors. Some of the graduate programs that our students tend to go to are Baylor College of Medicine, Duke University, Emory University, New York University, Temple University, University of California, Davis, uh, stay with sorry, that went back to University of Southern California. We've had some folks go to University of Tokyo, Cornell University. So this is just a few of the PhD programs that our students have been accepted into. Some of our recent graduates have been employed by these companies, being 1910 Genetics, we have Nateria, we have Merck, BGI Genomics. So there's quite a few of those programs as well. So now that I've given you a little bit of information about our programs and what the potential pros are to our program, here are some of information on our admission requirements. So it is an online application. There is no paper application. All applications are submitted electronically through a website. We also require official transcripts, and that's to be sent directly from your institution to our institution. It can't come directly from you. The transcripts that you upload to your online form, those can be your unofficial transcripts. That's fine, but we do require you to send official transcripts to the university directly. We also require a statement of purpose, a statement of research, CV or resume, 3 letters of recommendation, a TOEFL exam. This TOEFL exam is required for international students who have not attended an English-speaking institution. General courses in biological sciences, genetics, molecular biology, and cell biology are recommended, but they are not required to apply. You are also required to have an overall undergraduate GPA of a 3.0 in order to apply to our program. And your future starts with us. If you're very interested in our program, which I hope you are, here's a little bit of information about us. We do have a website, and then that's also the contact information that if you would like to have a one-on-one conversation with me, you're more than welcome to. You'd be able to do so through this, or if you fill out our contact us form on the website, it'll come directly to me and we can set up a one-on-one meeting as well. Or I can provide you with any additional information that you would require. So that's all I have for today. I'm more than happy to take questions whenever you all want to filter that to me.
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. And after watching this presentation, I want to go to LA as well. So to enjoy the beautiful and some funny recreation at the Los Angeles, and also I want to go to the USC and have a take a class. So I think our guest or our audience is also feel like me, and so we received some questions from our live streaming platform. So I think we can start with these questions first. Yeah. So our first question is that how about the percentage of students that would likely to get selected to the foreign PhD program at USC? Thank you.
Yeah, so if you're interested in the PhD programs, that's definitely something that if you email me, I can share more specifically what the PhD program requirements are. But when it comes to our gateway into the PhD program, you're still required to apply to these programs, but with the curriculum that we do have set in our master's program, you're able to go in a little bit head start, with a little bit of a head start. So you have units already started when you enter the PhD program. I do see that some folks are asking about if there's a PhD program specifically in biochemistry and molecular medicine. There isn't. However, we do have one that is connected to our BMM program called molecular medicine. And this is something that we developed over the last couple of years, and we're hoping to have folks who do tend to come into the BMM program and are interested in pursuing the PhD program, that you can go into the MEd program, which is short for molecular medicine, with the units and the start of your um, project you would be doing in your master's, and ultimately continuing that work into the PhD.
Thank you. And yes, there is a question from our Zoom chat box. So yeah, the question is, thank you for sharing. Yeah, would you mind to share the requirements for students enrolled to the PhD program? Does USC has PhD in BMM? And if my PHA is under 3.0, then am I eligible to apply your master degree? Thank you.
So for requirements for students to go into the PhD program, it's quite similar to the requirements needed for a master's program. You are still required the 3 letters of recommendation, statement of purpose, statement of research. You are required to have a 3.0 GPA that's non-negotiable. And you're also, if you have not studied at a US institution, you are required to submit a TOEFL score of 100, versus if you're in the applying to the master's program, your TOEFL score would need to be 90. So that's about 10 points less if you were to apply from a PhD program. And then research experience isn't required. It is recommended for the PhD program, and it's not required or required for our master's program either. If your GPA is under 3.0, you are more than welcome to apply. You will have a better opportunity to be accepted if you're below that 3.0 in a master's program than if you were to apply directly to a PhD program. Because for PhD programs, that 3.0 minimum is non-negotiable. You are required to have that. Versus our master's program, if you're a great candidate, despite having, not so great GPA, we'll still consider you.
Thank you. And there is also some audience are also interested in the PhD program. So our next question is, if I plan to pursue a PhD after completing my master's degree, what preparations can I make during my master's program? And can I take some PhD courses in advance during the master's program? Thank you.
So specifically with our BMM to MEd PhD route, that works a little bit more than if it were to be for the other PIBS related PhD programs. So PIB stands for Programs in Biomedical and Biological Sciences. And so that's the program, it's an umbrella program. So you start off in PIBS and then you go into the 6 different PhD programs they have after your first year. Now, if you're specifically interested in the BMM to MEd route, you are able to take PhD courses, which is what I had mentioned earlier, that you will already be taking PhD level courses in your master's program that can be transferred over to your PhD program. So when you start your PhD program, you don't have to worry about those foundational core curriculum. You would now just focus on your program specific curriculum. So that gives you a bit of a unit head start compared to first year students who are coming in who have not had a master's in BMM. Same with your project. If you do stay with the same PI in your PhD program, in theory, you can start the basis of your project in your master's program and have that transfer over into your PhD program. But if you aren't sticking with the same PI, principal investigator, then that would not be the case. But your courses will still transfer over to the PhD program.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Yeah, and our next question is, how about the number of the students enrolled each year for this BMM program?
It
Thank you.
ranges. We typically have about 15 to 20 students per cohort, and we are a 2-year program. So we have up to about 40 students enrolled in the BMM program at a time.
Thank you. And the next question is, yeah, this audience is interested in our campus. So how many libraries at our HSC Health Sciences campus, and are these libraries are available for 24 hours? Thank you.
These what, sorry?
Libraries.
Oh, libraries. Okay. Yeah, so we do have quite a few libraries. Um, I don't believe the ones on the health sciences campus are 24/7, unfortunately. However, if you're interested in a 24/7-hour library, we do have those on the University Park campus, which is quote unquote the main campus. Um, but we have a total of th- 3 libraries on our health sciences campus.
Thank you. And the next question is, uh, regarding the summer research program, if I am a master's, I'm in the master's degree, can I also participate in this program? Thank you.
So our summer research programs typically are for undergraduate students, but like I tell everyone, it does not hurt to ask. I would still reach out to these summer research programs and ask them about whether or not they would be able to apply. And sometimes people say yes. So I will say it does not hurt to ask.
Thank you. And the next question is, during the BMA Master's program, can I have an opportunity to enter the professor's lab and like write the paper and issue it?
So we are a program that does require you to submit a thesis, which means you are required to do research during your time in our program. Typically, you'll enter a lab during your second semester with us, and you'll be there until the end. Some students have published. It's not very common, but you'll definitely get some recognition in the publications once you're done.
Thank you. And I wonder, yes, how about the transportation, like the transportation around our campus? If I stay late at the campus, can I have, yeah, what kind of transportation can I use to go back home? Thank you.
Yeah, so if you're within a 5-mile radius, we do have that USC Lyft program, which is our rideshare program here um, in Los Angeles, and you can use that for free as long as you live within a 5-mile radius, or yeah, a 5-mile radius of campus. Our campus shuttles do go to Union Station and the UPC station. Um, they end, I want to say, last shuttle is 9:30 p.m. But if not, there's also public transportation. And if you're willing to pay for it, you can use rideshare as well if you're a little bit farther than the 5-mile radius. Um, that you do have those options as well.
Okay, thank you. And our next question is, according to the curriculum, yeah, some courses show the 0 credits. Are they also mandatory to take? Does the GPA for these courses also need to reach 3.0? I would like to know what the course BIOC 000 is teaching about. I think, yeah, this audience is kind of have some information, already have some information about our program. So yeah.
Yeah, so the BioC 000 course is required. You'll see that it'll say faculty presentations. And so that is so that you're made aware of the faculty members who are interested in taking master students into their lab. So you are required to attend those. There's like another one that's like BioC 594Z, and that's your thesis units, and that's also required as well. If you continue your research after the 2 semesters that are required for A and B. But if you're interested in more like curriculum specific questions, I'm more than happy to reach out or have you talk with me one-on-one to give you a little bit more of a breakdown. But as I mentioned, the majority of those BioC or all the BioC courses are mandatory to take and are required in order for you to get your degree.
Thank you. And the next question is there any direct connection between the BMA master program and the new MS PhD program?
So the new PhD program for MEd, our faculty are affiliated to the MEd PhD program. So there is that connection between the master's program and the MEd PhD program. It was also created with the intention of retaining our master's students and having them complete their PhD program at the University of Southern California. So we do have a hand, which is why you'll see a lot of cross with the curriculum that we have in our BMM master's program to the requirements for your MEd PhD program.
Thank you. And the next question is, in the second year of the program, can I freely choose the courses? Can I take courses from other schools such as film or engineering? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so we are able to have elective programs. You are able to take, I believe, a total of 2 courses outside of our departments. But some of the courses that are required for a program are technically outside of our department. One of those courses being in the translational genomics department. There's also interdepartmental courses that are electives that you can take within your second year as well. And in those interdepartmental courses, you'll be working with like PhD students and master students from other programs.
Yeah, thank you. And the next question is, I know that BMM is provides many internship opportunities. Then how about the career path? If I don't want to continue my PhD program, then how kind of resources and opportunities can I get from the school about my career path? Thank you.
Yeah, so one of your biggest resources will be your PI because they're going to be your networking system to potential industry jobs. But as I mentioned during the presentation as well, we do have a career services advisor and advising staff that can sit down with you one-on-one and speak to you about what your potential path post master's program could be. And our alumni network is also a huge resource that you can use to determine what potential jobs are out there after you graduate.
Thank you. And yeah, and there's also some questions if it's about the student service regarding the student service. Yeah, so if what kind of support are the international students most to look for from the advisors? Thank you.
Yeah, I think, one of the biggest thing is a bit of a culture shock if you've never come into the United States. And so they seek a little bit more direction in regards to finding housing, you know, places that they can hang out and things like that. We do have what's known as BMM ambassadors. And so these are second year students who have already gone through what our first year students have gone through and are used as a support system to make sure that our current first year students are on track and they're getting everything that they need in order to succeed during their time here. So those are a couple of different things. I have an open door policy, which means you can stop by my office anytime and I'm more than happy to chit chat with you, whether that means giving you recommendations on food or, going outside and maybe screaming a little bit because you're a little stressed. Whatever you need, I am there to assist you any way I can. But we're all, as I mentioned, we're all there just to kind of support you in any way you need. We also have our student health center, which offers a variety of different support systems if that is what you're also seeking. And then we also have, I mentioned, our student groups if you're just trying to find that community on campus as well.
Thank you so much. And our next question is there any scholarship is yet provided by the school, and what's the requirements and yes, some aspects can you provide for us? Thank you.
Yeah, we do offer a scholarship, and all those who apply um, and are accepted are viewed for this scholarship. So there's not anything extra that you all are required to do. It's just something that our admissions committee uh, ends up deciding.
Thank you. And also, can I get some help regarding my interview or the resume from the advisors or some in our career center at the campus? Thank you.
Yeah, once you become a student, they do have resume workshops. We even have public speaking workshops. So there are quite a few different workshops to help make sure that you're set up the best way you possibly can before leaving.
Thank you. And there's also have some questions about our CPT. And the question is, how soon can I participate in off-campus CPT after enrollment? And I would like to know the duration and whether it has the credits or not. Thank you.
So because of how short our program is and the research that you do on campus, we don't actually offer CPT for our program specifically. We do offer OPT, um, which is something that you can do post being done. But our program specifically doesn't actually do CPT.
Thank you very much. And the next question is, do I need to obtain any professional certifications for relevant work in this field? Thank you.
Previous to applying, you're not required to. All you are required to is having a degree, an bachelor in science degree, before applying to the program, and any other specific training that you are required to have in order to work in the lab. That's also something that we help provide and set up for you.
Thank you. And the next question is, I wonder if our program also require the GRE from the applicants, and is this also like for if I have a GRE, am I more advantage be a more competitive applicant for this enrollment process? Thank you.
So our program does not require GREs and does not look at the GRE. So you're not at an advantage or a disadvantage if you've taken the GRE. That is not something that our admissions committee looks at.
Okay, and thank you. And the next question is, this program seems research oriented and students defend a written thesis. I want to know if all students in program are required to have publications before graduation. Will department have some guidance on this? Thank you.
Yeah, so our students aren't required to have publications before they graduate because it is such a short program. That would be different for a PhD program, but for our master's program specifically, you are not required to have any publications. Um, if you decide to go into the PhD program, you're likely to have your PI require you to have at least one publication before you graduate, and that's something that, your PI will help you with, and guide you in.
Thank you. Yeah, and there's one question from our Zoom chat box. And by the way, could you please, yes, tell about the summer research programs that offered by your school? Yeah, I think this audience is a little bit, yes, enter our Zoom so later. So, Karina, do you mind, yeah, share our summer research program again? Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. We have quite a few summer research programs. Let me see if I can get a link very quickly. Um, we have a variety. There's one that's called Spider, which is specifically for diabetes research. There's also one called um, the Bridging the Gaps, which gives you the opportunity to come into um, the university and shadow our PIs as well as our research students to see kind of what the research that they're doing specifically. I'm gonna go ahead and add a link in the chat. And then maybe you can also share that information to your other folks who aren't on the Zoom chat. But these are a couple of the programs that we do have specifically at the Keck School of Medicine.
Thank you. And the next question, yeah, we also have some question. So the next question is, could you please share the tuition fee about of our program? Thank you.
Yeah, so that also is going to be dependent on how many units you ultimately take, or if you're doing a flat unit. Um, so I will also add another link in the chat. This gives you a little bit better idea of what the tuition will look like. It also gives you ideas about potential financial aid and things like that. So if you want to take a look at that, that is probably going to give you the best breakdown of what the tuition cost will look like.
Thank you. Yeah, and the next question is, can students find the paid internship opportunities in the school? Yes, and is the CPT, yeah, OPT payable? Thank you.
Yeah, so as I mentioned previously, because our program is such a short time, we don't have our students, we don't typically encourage our students to find any outside work. We do have you focus on the research specifically. Unfortunately, with the research, because it is a part of your education, it is not paid. Um, and as I mentioned, our program does not offer CPT. We do offer OPT. And this is more for our students to kind of finish out their thesis. So some folks do find payable OPT opportunities, but the majority of our students stay within our faculty research labs that they're already in, and those would be non-payable.
Thank you very much. Yeah, because of the limited time, so we will take last two questions from our live streaming platforms. So the first question is, would you please share the percentage of Chinese students who go back to China after graduation, and how about their career development in China? Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have those statistics on me. I would have to kind of find that data itself, so I'm not entirely sure. I will say that the majority of our students do tend to move on to PhD after their master's, and those PhDs are typically done in the US. There are a few who do go back to China, but the majority of students tend to stay in the United States, to finish off their education.
Thank you very much. And our last question is, what aspects should I pay more attention when I submit my application? And should I contact or reach out to the professors in advance before I submit application? Thank you.
Of course. With submitting your application, you aren't required to reach out to faculty if you want to just learn a little bit more about what, you're interested in and see if this is something that we can find here in our program. You're more than welcome to. I think one thing that you need to focus on in your application is truly sharing what you hope to gain out of this master's program, what you're hoping to do with what you learn here in the master's program, and how you're going to apply it to wherever you land once you graduate. Um, we also just like to see your passion for science. I mean, it's extremely important to know who you are as an individual as well as who you are as a scientist. And so I think your statement of purpose versus your statement of research are two very important and distinct conversations that you can have with us and let us know who you are. I will also say that if you do have any research experience, make sure that you do get that letter of recommendation from people who've seen you in that research experience as well, because those letter of recommendations are extremely important and give us a bit of insight um, into who you are as a scientist as well.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so it's our event today. So for the last part of our event, so our guest speaker, Karina, could you please give some advice or suggestion to our potential students or the audience who are interested in the Keck Medicine School? Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Before I give that advice, I mean, as I mentioned right previously, your statement of purpose, your statement of research, and your letter of recommendations are all extremely important components to your application. This really gives us the opportunity to hear from you, who you are as a scientist, and what your hopes and dreams are once you leave this program, and how you think our master's program can help you achieve those goals that you do have. Um, so this is one of the few opportunities that you do get to let us know those. And same with their letters of recommendation. This gives us the opportunity to see how others view you and how you would thrive in our program. So those are three very important portions to the program itself. I will say, if you are interested in having the one-on-one conversations with me, I did post another link in the chat, and it's the Biochemistry and Molecular Medicine program link. With that link, it will take you to a contact us form, which will give you information on how to create a one-on-one session with me. This will also lead you to more information about our program and our application as well. So I definitely encourage you to use that link to get a little bit more information about our program specifically.
Thank you so much.
Of
Yes,
course.
and this is all the information about our event today. Yeah, thank you very much.